So guys, we wanted to iterate through our map. Okay, so I was trying to demonstrate you how we can do it using a for each loop. Okay, so each of the entries in my map, see, for example, we have a entries means, so we have a set of these key and a value pairs. So this is first set, or this is one entry, this is second entry, third entry, and so on. So entries is a collection of my key and a value pair. From these entry, I want to get this entry one at a time. I'll call this as an entry. So I want to get it from my map. That is, I have a names map dot. I have a method called entry set. Okay. So what it will going to give me? It will going to give me a set view. It is a view of my map of the mappings contained in this map. So ये पूरे values key and a value pair को वो दे देगा. So हर एक row को हम बोलेंगे entry. So in every iteration, it will pick up one entry and assign it to my entry. So what is this reference variable entry? Entry is my one row key and a value pair. So whatever you want to do, you do with that. So for example, I want to print system.out. I want that entry dot, I have a getter methods to get the key, or I have a getter methods for the value. So I can get the value, and also I can get the, so for example, entry dot get value. So associated value and associated key, you will be able to retrieve it in your iteration. So let me try to print it. All of you please observe. These are all my key value pairs. This is my key one and its value. So like that, I'm able to iterate. Okay, so now my next question is, will I be able to create a map of user-defined data type? So can I create a key and a value as my user object? So anything is possible. So because it's a generic interface. So now let's create the map of my employees. So let me paste this employee, which we created earlier. So in an employee, as we discussed, it already has this hash code and the equals method we have overridden it. So based on the ID, it will go to say that both employee objects are equal. Okay. So now here, I want to create a map of, so either let's say I want to store all your objects. Let's say I'm creating a map of all my students in this particular batch, or employees in this particular batch. So what do? I can store it in your names. Suppose if I want to store it in your names, then what happens? So I need to have a unique names to create the keys. If there is a duplicate name, then I'll not be able to create an entry for you. So usually what we do, we create something called the employee ID. Let's say that employee ID is a string. So what exactly is the format of your employee ID, guys? Guys, what is the format of your employee ID? Is it alphanumeric or numeric? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You guys have got employee IDs? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is it alphanumeric or numeric?
Numeric, sir.
Okay, it's a numeric. So then you can go for integer, comma, employee. So this I'll call it as an employee map. Whatever may be the purpose, that name you have to coin. So is equal to new, I'll go for hash map. So emp map dot put. So I'll be able to, let's say you will give me one ID. So let me randomly take some IDs from you. Okay, Abhishek, what is your ID, for example?
Two five 25060.
Okay, 1 second. Yeah, please tell me again once again, please.
25250 0
That's all, no? Right.
60.
Okay. So I'll give the same ID, let's say. Okay, for representation purpose, I'll have some salary here. So we are adding Abhishek employee details.
40,000. It's 40,000 only.
No, it's okay. It's fine. Anyways, you will get it very soon. No issues. So when we have a career growth, no, ये अपने आप मिल जाएगा. Don't worry. बिना पूछे वो आ जाएगा. You just have to perform. That's all. You just involve yourself in the technology. So पैसा आपको ढूंढ के आएगा. आपको जॉब ढूंढना नहीं पड़ेगा. ठीक है? Right. So I'm just taking reference values. Okay, don't. Okay, let's take one more person. Sorry. Yeah, Aishwarya, can I have your number? Or I can also put some reference number.
So 2525
Uh-huh.
073.
073 is for Aishwarya. So we added 2 employees right now. Okay, let me add a third employee. So let me just take someone. Prince Verma, can you just give me your ID? Prince, are you there? Okay, Prince is not available. He's not answering. Okay, Faisal, are you there? Faisal Khan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you just give me a quick ID, please?
Yes, sir. 2525038.
038. Okay. All belong to the same batch, no? So you have identical IDs.
Yes, sir.
038, no?
Yes, sir.
So now let's try to print it. So I want to print the entire map. So inside map, there is a toString method that is will going to iterate and give me the string format of your entire map. Okay, so now you can see. So this is the map of my employees. So this is the key and this is the associated employee. Correct now? 0038 is Faisal Khan. So now you can see that there is no ordering. It has not stored my employees in the order. So this ID 73 is Aishwarya. And similarly, 060 is Abhishek. Okay. So now let's do some CRUD operations. So this is how I create the map. So map is already created. So what I want to do now, so let's say I want to retrieve it. Okay, I have an ID and I want to retrieve a particular employee. So now let me retrieve it, or let me do. So this operation is nothing but your create operation, guys. This is your create. Then I want to read. So how do I read? So simply go for employee name map dot. I can go for get. So you know the ID, so then you can get it. So let's say I know the ID of Aishwarya, so I'll be able to get it. So what it will going to give me? It will going to give me the object of the employee. So I can also create a reference variable. So found AMP is equal to this. Which one is who is the found employee? So I want to read about, I want to get the information about this employee. So आपको just get करना है, key देना है, आपको object को वो return कर लेगा. So you can print it. System.out found this particular employee details. Let's try to run it. Is this information correct, guys? What we are searching for? It's very straightforward. How it was working for our primitive data types or our wrapper classes or a string data type, it will also work with your user defined data type. So this is about reading. So create CRU, I have to update them. How do I update? So let's say I have got the information, I have found the employee object of this particular ID. Let's say I want to change the value. Okay, so how I can change? So found employee is a reference variable. Using dot method, I will be able to set whatever I want. You want to change this ID, you can go for set ID. Set name, you want to modify the name, you can go for set name. You want to change the salary of that particular employee, you can go for set the salary. Okay, for example, what's the full name of Aishwarya? Aishwarya, do you have any second name?
Walia, sir. WALIA.
WALIA. Okay. So I want to set a name to Aishwarya Walia. Okay. Now let me try to print it. Or else you can also print the entire map. Okay, let me print the entire employee map. So this is Faisal Khan, it is intact. This is Aishwarya, you can check the name. So it has been modified to Aishwarya Walia. So basically, I have updated the name of this particular employee. How did I find it? I found using a get method. So I want all of you to do the CRUD operation separately. I want you to do the CRUD operation with respect to list separately, set separately, and this particular map separately. Then only you will have that fluency. Suppose you have a data in your map, how you can do modification of that. Okay, so it is not always good to manipulate your database. So if you already have a set of data in your hand, so put it to your collection, for example, map, you do all the changes, whatever you want to do. Finally, when it is done, you can update it to the database. So database, you have to wait for the response from the database. Otherwise, if you have a limited data with respect to a customer that you can keep it in your map, then map can be manipulated. And finally, when the user submits it, I can take it back and store it in my database. Okay, every operation, if you want to do it with a database, then it will be time consuming because your request has to go to the server, database server, and it has to fetch the data for you. If it is one shot, let's say if there are 50 records, you fetch it, you manipulate it, and then in one shot, you can store it into the database. Okay, that's fine. And also it will be happening in a memory now. So it will be much faster than doing the changes to the database. Okay. Right. So this is our about update, guys. So similarly, you can easily delete it. And also you can do updation. Suppose you want to replace. So we know how to replace also, correct now? So you go for the employee map dot, you have a put method. So in that put method, if you use the same key, then you will be able to overwrite an existing entry for that particular key. Okay, that is one way. Otherwise, you also have a replace. You give me the key and the object, it will going to replace it. Okay, so and also we have this replace old value and a new value. Okay, old value, if it matches, then only I want to replace with a new value, let's say. So let's try with this, guys. So what is the key? So let's say the key is Abhishek. Okay, otherwise we already have this object, found object. Okay, let me go with this key. So this is my found employee. So I have a new employee to replace. How to find? We have the key and you can find it by get method. Simple. So after finding it, then you want to replace it. This is my new EMP. Okay. So let me create the object of the employee. Employee new EMP is equal to new employee. So let me create the same object. Only my intention is if it matches, then only it will going to replace it. That's what we need to understand. Okay, let me make this salary 55,000. So and after that, let's print it. What are we supposed to understand here? This particular object, if it matches already existing value, the existing value is this. How it will check whether it is matching or not? So it will purely check it with your ID. Okay, ID match कर रहा है, इसलिए वो समझेगा वो match हो रहा है, and it will going to replace with this new object. Okay, this is how my replace will going to work. So equality उसको पता चल जाएगा, so बाद में वो replace कर लेगा. So all of you please observe this ID 0073. So now your name, you can see your salary, you can see. Because it matched with the previous value, it has got replaced. and also it returns true if the value was replaced. So if I print whether it is getting replaced or not, I'll get to know the Boolean value. Guys, are you able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So I can put it in the condition, if condition A replace ho raha hai, so if already is there, so conditionally I can write a code. One second, guys. So similarly, guys, I can also do put all. You have a one map and you want to copy it, then you can merge them by using put all. And also you have something called as put if absent. If this key is absent, then this value it will go to insert. If a specified key is not already associated with a value, then it will go to insert it. Yes, guys. So that's all about your map functionality or map collection. So similarly, guys, now for all the other things I can do with respect to map. So I have a something called as linked hash map. So what will happen? The order it will going to retain. So similarly, I have a tree map. So it will going to sort it. Okay. So now let's check it. So let's create a linked hash map and then we'll create a sorted map. How to achieve order. So basically, I will be able to achieve the order by creating a map. Let's say this is my map. So as usual, I have an integer. So comma, I have a employee. So this I'll call it as my order emp is equal to new. I have to create a linked hash map. Let me use the same employees and let me add them here. Okay, so this is my order emp map. Same employees I'm adding here. So if you want, you can also send your existing map. This is emp map into this. Okay, that is also possible. Okay, now let's see whether it is displaying me in order or not. So actually, if I check my previous entries, so these are all, this is the order in which I have inserted. So this is my first record, second and a third one. Let's see how it is displaying me when I get it. So you can see it is telling me, yeah, it is showing me 38 first and then 73, and then it is giving me the last record, 60th record. Okay, in fact, I am inserting 60 first, then 73, and then 38. Okay, I want to retain the order, so you need to go for creating an object of linked hash map. So let's say, let me print it, system.out ordered map को दिखाना है अभी. So when such requirement arises, you guys go for ordered map or linked hash map. देखेंगे whether it is coming in the order. So we inserted 60. आपको देखना मिलेगा ये 60 है. फिर 73. finally we have 38. आपको ऑर्डर जैसे भी आप क्रिएट कर रहे हो वो ऑर्डर मिल जाएगा, नहीं तो बाय डिफॉल्ट नेचर मैप के पास आपके ऑर्डर नहीं मिलेगा. सो एक्स्ट्रा एफर्ट डाल के वो रिमेंबर करेगा इन व्हाट ऑर्डर यू क्रिएटेड दिस. So when you iterate also, you will get it in the same order. Any questions, guys? I believe you got it. So similarly, guys, I want to create one more map. So let's say I want to sort them. So sort. So let me create the same map. So this is sorted EMP का map है. Is equal to tree. Whenever you see the word tree, आपको समझ में आना है वो sorted होगा, automatically sort हो जाएगा. ठीक है. So now let's try to add some elements there. So this is my sorted EMP map. In fact, so this we will not prefer to abbreviate this EMP also, because आपको मालूम होना है what is this EMP. So let me just refactor it. So while coding, you can write a shorter name, but when you finish it, your job, you please refactor with the appropriate naming convention. So this is my sorted employee. So also I would like to print it. All of you check whether it is sorted or not based on your key. So whatever may be the way you have inserted 38 first, then 60, and then 73. So it is basically sorting your elements based on your key value. Okay, any questions here, guys? समझ में आ गया?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's good. So now the same question continues for your assignment. You need to do me CRUD operation on this particular collection of, sorry, map collection. This is on 29 June 2022. Create map of employee and perform maybe this employee, you can also change it. So maybe I'll call it as some students, something. So any object for that matter you can create. You can create a car object, map of car, car records, and perform CRUD operations. You think about what are all the attributes of this car. How do you identify the car? What is the unique value that you want to identify? You create the hash map and equals method. So, okay, you can do the CRUD operations here. So what else did we cover today? One second, guys. Are you guys getting some background noise? Guys, are you getting some background noise
Yes, sir.
from my side? Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay, one second. So am I audible, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Prashant, that particular collision will be handled by our map object, or that particular class will going to handle it automatically. You don't have to do anything externally. Okay, he is asking a question like the if the particular key gives the same hash code, then there will be a collision. No? So
Yes,
that
sir.
particular mechanism will be handled by my map itself. So I don't have to do anything.
But sir, if we wanna like implement it by ourselves, then what we have to do?
See, that's why Java has given you it as a framework. So because Java people who designed Java, they themselves have done this coding. Why they have done it like that? Because you, as a beginner, you might end up implementing it wrongly, or you might end up implementing less efficiently. Right, ना? So इसलिए let's say I buy Maruti. So along with Maruti car, I get some tools. So आपको मारुति की कार की जगह वो सूट हो जाएगा. Let's say you buy some premium car or semi-premium car like Creta or some Jeep. So you will get certain tools. So that will be efficient with that. So like that, Java team itself has created this particular framework. Okay? So
Yes, sir.
it is always a better choice for you to use this collection framework instead of creating your own.
Yes, sir. Got it, sir.
Yeah. Okay, and I think that's it, guys. So I can add some more problem statements here. So I was just going through what else, what other questions I'll be able to put here. So I'll just think through it and I'll be able to add it. Okay. So let me update this. All of you, please create a GitHub repository so that here onwards, so we'll be able to we'll have a small discussion on a GitHub, and then I will try to push my code instead of pushing it to Google Drive. I will push it to my repository. Okay. Right. Okay, guys. So go through the demo, and also please go through the documentation which I've given you, and also please try to work on the given assignment. Meanwhile, I'll find out what else needs to be covered for the day, and we'll take it up. Clear now, guys? Or should I stop the recording? Or it should be on? However you want. All of you, please go through the map and also please work on the assignment.
So you may stop the recording.
Yeah.